I'm Mikayla Newby.
I'm Burke.
And I'm Alex Hilmes. Welcome to our video on Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's is a neurodegenerative disease that results in memory loss and loss of cognitive function and is the main cause for dementia. Many who suffer from Alzheimer's can lose the ability to do simple tasks, and some experience behavioral or personality changes. These generally start with early brain changes, followed by a decline in thinking, then memory changes and confusion, inability to bathe, dress, or eat without help, and lastly, a lack of communication or recognition of loved ones. Alzheimer's is most commonly observed in individuals over 60 years old, although some experience its onset much earlier. Alzheimer's is currently the 6th leading cause of death in the United States and is the 3rd leading cause of death for older individuals.
Alzheimer's is caused by an accumulation of plaques and tangles within the neurons of the brain. Plaque buildups occur when enzymes that cut a protein called APP cut it unevenly, causing small pieces of the APP to float around, and these are called beta amyloids. These fragments attract each other and can build up in the synapses as seen in the picture here. The yellow circles indicate the plaque, or the beta amyloid buildup, that is covering a synapse. A synapse is a space between two neurons, and it is how the cells of the brain are able to communicate. The purple circles are different neurotransmitters that are telling the brain information. If the plaque builds up, it won't let the neurotransmitters through, and the brain will not get the information it needs to perform actions such as retaining memory or motor functions. Tangles occur inside each neuron when a protein inside the neuron, called tau, becomes abnormal. Tau holds together the microtubules, which carry nutrients throughout the brain. The microtubules are seen in the picture above within the axon of the neuron. When tau malfunctions, the strands of it twist and become tangled, making them unable to support the microtubules. They then begin to degrade, collapsing the transport system and eventually leading to the cell dying. The death of the cells leads to the brain being able to perform less functions and the shrinkage of the brain. The people who suffer from Alzheimer's are 1 in every 10 people ages 65 and older, which is 10%, which is approximately 53 million people. Approximately 200,000 individuals under the age of 65 have a younger onset Alzheimer's, and by mid-century, someone in the United States will develop this disease every 33 seconds.
In Alzheimer's disease, diagnosis through testing is done to rule out other causes of dementia that could be present, even though 60 to 80% of cases of dementia are attributable to Alzheimer's disease. In the process of diagnosis, 4 things are observed to make sure it is Alzheimer's causing the dementia. First, a detailed medical history will be reviewed to make sure the symptoms are not from a medication or another illness. Second, a physical examination and diagnostic tests will be administered to rule out external causes having to do with lifestyle and general health of dementia that could be present. Third, neurological tests are done to determine whether the dementia was caused by a stroke, Parkinson's, tumors, fluid accumulation, or other memory-impairing illnesses. Fourth, brain imaging and blood tests are done. Brain imaging allows the physicians to see physical signs of Alzheimer's disease or whatever else may be causing the dementia. Blood is used to do genetic testing to check for genes that directly cause Alzheimer's disease. Some genes, when present, cause Alzheimer's disease 100% of the time, while others only increase the risk.
Alzheimer's diagnosed in individuals who are in their early 60s or younger are classified as early onset Alzheimer's, while some patients being diagnosed as early as their late 20s. About 10% of all Alzheimer's patients are classified as early onset Alzheimer's patients. Each of these subtypes have overlap, however, and Alzheimer's exists as a continuum. For example, about 1/4 of families with late onset Alzheimer's have a relative who develops early onset Alzheimer's. One family that has been critical to research on the genetic component of Alzheimer's is from areas surrounding Medellin, Colombia.
Around Medellin, Colombia, there's a large extended family in which a genetic mutation is present at 50% frequency that guarantees early onset Alzheimer's disease. Doctors who studied the family to learn more about the disease perform a blood test on all of the family members to see where the gene is present. Because the presence of the mutation guarantees early onset Alzheimer's disease and there is no cure, physicians do not inform the patients when the mutation is present. In the United States, research is being done to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease. As a part of this research, a drug was developed that was designed to remove amyloid plaques. In clinical trials, it had a 1% success rate, which is very unsuccessful. However, the developers of the drug thought it may work better as in a preventative role than in curing the disease. The American and Colombian researchers have teamed up to try the drug as a vaccine. Because physicians have complete knowledge of who in the Colombian family will get Alzheimer's disease and who will not, a clinical trial with the drug in the role of a vaccine can be easily conducted. 300 so far unaffected members of the family were selected for the double-blind trial, 200 with the mutation and 100 without. Of the 200 with the mutation, 100 were given the vaccine and 100 were given a placebo. Progression of the disease in each of these groups is being observed, and by 2021, definitive results for the efficacy of the drug as a vaccine are expected.
Thank you for listening to our presentation, and thank you for attending Brain Awareness Week.